Hey everyone, so I really wanted to make a quick video for any beginners like myself to GameMaker Studio 2. GameMaker piqued my interest close to probably a year ago, and I didn't really know any coding besides HTML, CSS, and very little JavaScript, so basically code to make websites. And so being able to make games from drag and drop was pretty awesome. However, I quickly realized that in order to add certain features and make my game smoother, I would kind of need to understand the GameMaker language, or GML for short. And I just recently found a way to kind of make your projects in drag and drop first, kind of map out the simple parts of the game, and then for the parts that need more complex code, how to convert drag and drop into the code. And if you go to yoyogames.com, you go to the website for GameMaker Studio 2, in the learning section, there's actually a kind of a detailed video showing you what had got added in GameMaker Studio 2. And it's the video right underneath the, I want to say the drag and drop section of tutorial videos. And it just runs through like 3 or 4 things that they added. And one of the things that they show you is that you're able to convert your drag and drop code to like GameMaker language code. So that's kind of what I want to show you guys today. It's really nice. I wish someone would have showed me this feature whenever I started, or maybe I just needed to pay better attention to their videos on their website. But I haven't seen any videos online just yet, kind of especially targeting this. So hopefully this will help some of you new beginners like myself kind of learn what's going on. So here I have a basic object. It's called Drops Honey, and we got a collision going on between Drops Honey and the object box game over. And what I want to happen is I want the Drops Honey object to be destroyed when it hits the box game over. And I also want the object score jar to let me change this up. The object score jar, I want that to also be destroyed. And then we're going to make the score that just got destroyed at, or the score jar, but the score itself, we want it to change its position from the bottom left corner to the center of the screen. We're going to kind of make it the main focus after you lose the game. And then we have 4 buttons. It's going to be the retry, the back button, sound button, the game button. And I chose this example to kind of showcase several things that are a little bit awkward, moving from drag and drop to the GameMaker language that you might have not thought of initially. So if I go ahead and come over here, here's the drops of honey. What I'm going to do is duplicate this, because when you convert it into the GameMaker language, when you convert your drag and drop into the GameMaker language, you are not able to bring it back into drag and drop. So you might want to do this whenever you mess around with your games as well. So let's go ahead and go to this one, and I'm going to go to the same thing so we can compare the two, the drag and drop and the code. You right click and you scroll down here, you'll see convert to GML, and it's trickily placed in here. I right clicked on this probably who knows how many times in close to the last year. I've never noticed that they had this. But if you go ahead and click this, it says you are performing a one-way conversion. Pretty much what this message is gonna tell you is that once you do this, there's no going back to drag and drop. You got to be kind of sure with your choice that you're wanting to make it GameMaker language. So if we go ahead and click OK, and now we see that it went ahead and made all of our drag and drop up here. It's made it into the GameMaker language. So if I go ahead and drag this down, center it up for you guys, scroll up, and here's the first line of code that it shows you in what's written down here. Now this is one of these cases that I was talking about why I chose this example. So if we're destroying an instance, you have to do the drop down where you select an object that you're targeting. If you're kind of on like another object, or I guess in this case I just chose to do it so I could choose my own object, or choose itself in this case, because I want the drop to destroy itself on that collision. And so you might be thinking how to go about doing that in GameMaker language. And you wouldn't actually suspect that it would just be this one line maybe. However, it is. It's, you just say that with this object. So imagine if you're talking with someone and you're saying, hey, with this object, I want to destroy it. So you say with this object, which is objects drops honey, and you just say instance underscore destroy, and you got the parentheses. And same thing, you're going to go down the line in the same way that you stacked your drag and drop tree, the nodes, it's going to go down the line of code in that same order. We're going to do the same thing with score jar. And now here's another one of those cases. So you see jump to point. And when we did the destroy instance, we actually used similar wording in those lines of code. So for destroy instance, we actually did instance underscore destroy. So you'd think maybe you got that to work and you can destroy the instance now, and you want to do jump to point, and you might kind of think to yourself that you can do the same wording in jump to point. Maybe it's point to jump. You know, it's reversed words like how instance destroy is. It's actually not. It's going to be the same width that we've used up here. And once again, we're trying to tell someone in a way, we're trying to tell the computer with the object score. What I want you to do is make the X this, and I want you to make the Y this. So in this case, my X is the room width divided by 2 minus 18, and my Y is the room height divided by 2 plus 30. And it's exactly the same thing that I put into these text boxes. And if we go down to the last one, let's see here, it's button retry. These are all the same, so I'm just going to go over button retry. But once again, another interesting case. So we have the create instance. You're not for sure exactly what to put in to start your line of code. So now you can see here it's instance create layer. You might have been able to get that, but it's kind of a little bit kind of not set up exactly the way the text boxes go down like how it has been before so far. So you can see that instead of actually naming our object whenever we're creating it, we first want to actually give it its X and its Y. So it's going to give it the X, the Y, and then now what you can do here is you're going to give it your layer name. And then after that, we actually jump back up to the object name. So this is what we're going to be naming the object. And it's the same for all of those. But as you can see, that it's a little bit different of the wording. I will let you guys in on a little secret. It's not really a secret, but if you look in here, you can see that once you actually get this set up and you know what you're trying to type up and what you're trying to put in, it's going to show you guys what needs to be in there. And remember, it's going to be separated by commas for all of these. We have the X, we have the Y, we have the layer ID or name, and then the object. And I'm actually not done with that yet because this is for, like I said, the beginners that are just fresh to it, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and they're mostly just using drag and drop so far, and they haven't even started with GameMaker, with the GameMaker language. So you might have not even messed around with these relative checkboxes. Maybe you followed along to the tutorial, the drag and drop tutorials that are on the website, but you still don't really know exactly what's going on. So this is a good way to test what's happening. So I'll do it on the button retry. So let's go ahead and look at the button retry and remember what's in the button retry. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Come back up here. We're going to double check all these. I guess we could do that, but we don't have a target right now. And we're going to go ahead and it drops. Duplicate it again. Open this back up. Right click. And now if we go ahead and look, we can see that something has changed here. What has happened is what relative does is it makes it so that wherever you placed in your room, that room position is going to be added to whatever you're putting in those text boxes. So in this case, we did the relative on our button retry. I'm just going to show you guys the drop because that'll be, since I'm already right here near drop. But the drop's coordinates in the room are 543, -250. So if this was the drops position, what would be happening is it would be 543 plus the room width divided by 2 minus 5. Likewise, the room's Y position, the drops Y position, and plus the room height divided by 2 plus 365. And that's what relative does. So now you guys know how to kind of go about the first steps into figuring out what does what in GameMaker, how to kind of advance past just drag and drop and learn more with the GameMaker language as a whole. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Like I said, I didn't really see any videos on it just yet, so with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.